Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. Monday and Wednesday we've done science here, but we wanted to mix it up a little bit and talk some social studies today. Given that I'm running for office, seems like an easy thing for me to kind of narrow in on, so that's going to be today's idea. I'll remind everyone of this at the end, but since Governor Walz has announced the stay-at-home order until April 10th, I said I would continue to do these Monday, Wednesday, Friday if that happened. So check back on Monday for science questions, or for more science. We're going to keep running in that direction. And if you have questions that your kids have about science or that you have about science, send them in and we can cover those as a topic as well. But today we're going to talk about social studies. So I'm running for state senate, and so that we can kind of get an idea of what that looks like. Here are the 67 Senate districts in the state of Minnesota, and this right here, number one on the map and number one in our hearts, Senate District 1, this northwest corner of Minnesota. It is the second largest geographical Senate district in the state. It's Polk, Red Lake, Pennington, Marshall, Kittson, and Roseau counties. That's what I'm running to represent. It's been kind of a mixed road up until this point. Certainly, COVID quarantining us is not helping normal political activities. The state DFL party has asked no door knocking. There's a lot of kind of chaos with what's going on at the conventions. But the start of this process was actually relatively normal and a lot more easy than I thought it was going to be. And that's something that I really want to emphasize over the course of today, that this process of getting involved politically, that I think more people should do, it was not difficult at all. And I would encourage everyone to take some of the basic steps that we're going to talk about today. So I had thought about running for office for a very long time. It was not a spur-of-the-moment decision. And knew that this race was going to be up in 2020. I waited until after the 2018 midterms were done because I figured people didn't want to talk about 2020 when 2018 was still happening. But as soon as the 2018 midterms were done, I emailed the local county units. If you search on the Minnesota DFL page, every county in Minnesota has a county chair, and every Senate district has a Senate district chair. So I immediately emailed those people, and I said, hi, this is who I am. This is what I'm thinking about doing. Could we meet? Could we just sit down for a couple minutes together? And everyone said yes. Everyone was happy to have somebody reach out to very politely say, hey, this is something I'm looking at. I would like to talk to you more about it. And just every meeting led to more meetings. Every time I left, somebody said, hey, have you talked to so-and-so yet? And I said, no, do you have their information? Got their information, emailed them, got another meeting. And that was how I talked to everybody in the district, at least kind of the local, the DFL politicos in the area. I emailed them, said, hi, can we talk? And they said, yes. And we sat down and talked. It really was just that easy. And now when I say that easy, I also mean I was showing up to all those meetings. I made certain that when there was a county meeting for the DFL, I showed up to that. When there was a farmers union meeting, I would show up to that. When there was a town hall about childcare in the district, I would show up to that. So when I say easy, the time investment and the work investment was still there, but by being willing to put in that time and by being willing to put in that work, that was the barrier. Nobody really stopped me. Nobody said, no, you can't be doing this right now. Everybody who I said, hey, is it okay if I do this? They're like, yeah, that's great. So I need to emphasize, even if you are thinking of running for office at any point, it's not this giant, difficult bar. You throw your hat in the ring and you say, hey, I want to do this. And you start talking to everybody you can. You show up and you talk. And that certainly was how we started things. When it got to July of last year, that was when all the county fairs, sorry. When all the county fairs were happening, and I made certain to show up to all those, talk to every voter I could, get my name out there. So there was a lot of time investment, but I certainly had the impression before I was running for office, and who knows, maybe I was the only one who thought this, but I had the impression that it was going to be a whole lot of people telling me, no, don't do this, you can't do this, you're not ready to do this, and that was not the case at all. I found an extremely welcoming environment when I said, hey, this is my goal, and I'm willing to put in the time for this. And that's really, so that's running for office. That's sort of the process of what we did. We filled out one form for the state of Minnesota to say, hey, it is our intention to file to run for this. And then you had to declare a party affiliation, and you had to have a treasurer on your campaign. That was very important. Abiding by campaign finance laws is key. They are vital to making certain the process works, and having somebody who understands those is big. But as long as I had that form filled out, that was all the state needed, and they were happy and said I was ready to go. But I also want to talk in general about, even if you're not thinking of running for office, if you just want your voice to be heard, if you just want to get involved in local politics, take that same process I just laid out. All you have to do, find somebody who's involved, who's local, who's in your county or in your area, and email them. Say, hey, when's the next meeting? You might even be able to find, if you just type in your county and then a party affiliation on Facebook, you'll probably find when the next county meeting is. Show up to that. Meet people. Say, hey, I just kind of want to get involved. You would be amazed at how far things will go by just you showing up. So many people aren't willing to take that step and aren't willing to make that investment, that if you are willing to just be there, be in that room, your voice gets enormously amplified. And that's just you. If you bring 3, 4, 5 friends and you all get involved together, I'm not exaggerating, 5 friends can shift what is happening on your county level. Just because that process of showing up and being there is so vitally important. So please don't feel intimidated by that. Everybody who I have been in contact with so far has been enormously welcoming, has been happy that I've been there, and has been happy to have anybody who I've brought. And right now is a really easy time as well, because you don't even necessarily have to show up in person. So many places right now, because of the nature of quarantine, are doing their meetings online, that all you need is to show up in a Zoom meeting and listen in. You don't even have to speak. You don't have to kind of show your face. You're just there and listening. And you'll see that it's not an intimidating environment, that it's very easy to join, that it's very easy to be a part of your local party, that it's easy to get your voice heard on that local level. And even if it's not a party meeting, go to your local town hall, city council meeting, same thing. They're going to be happy to have somebody there who's speaking, who's saying, hey, I'm here, I want to be heard, I want to get involved. That drive and showing up will get you 90 to 95% of the way. I mean that sincerely. People think there's this big barrier there, and there's not. It is very easy to get involved, and I encourage everyone to do so. Again, especially because now you don't even need a webcam and a mic. Just show up and click on the meeting link that somebody will send you if you say, hey, I want to be involved. So now is a great time to do that. I encourage everyone to give it a shot. And if you want to run for office, which again, I encourage more people to do, every time I see a race is uncontested, no matter which party is winning a race uncontested, that disappoints me. We need to be having hard debate and competition to get these spots, to make certain that our politicians aren't feeling lazy or entitled to their seat. By having those races be run every time, by making certain we always have candidates who are willing to try, who are willing to say, hey, I think this should happen. I think these people are being left out of the conversation. I think this issue needs more attention, and I want to give it a go. Even if that just holds the incumbent's feet to the fire, that's incredibly important to the democratic process. So I hope that some of you listening are thinking about running for office at some point, and I promise you it is easier than you think. For everybody, even if you're not thinking of running for office, I encourage you to think about getting involved. It is incredibly easy. It is a welcoming group of people who wants more involvement. Everybody should be involved in as best a way as they can. And that's going to influence policy in ways that people who haven't dipped their toe into the process might be surprised about. So if you have questions about what I've been doing so far and the kind of more social studies aspect of this, by all means, if you ask those questions, I'll certainly cover it in some of the science lectures next week as well. But again, I'll be back on, I hope I've got 2 videos up so far. On Monday, we did how do fish breathe underwater. And then on Wednesday, we did what are freckles and how do plants come back in the spring. Because Governor Walz has the stay-at-home order until April 10th, that means for the next 2 weeks, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'll be releasing more little 10-minute science short videos. So please, if you got questions, get those into me. Thank you very much. I hope everybody's kind of prepared for this 2 weeks. We're going to get through it. I recommend everybody find, and I'll post the link in the description of this video, but Governor Walz's press conference where he laid out why he's making this decision is a good one that everybody should watch. It's 15 to 20 minutes long. He lays out that decision well. It's one we should abide by as best we're able to. But I will be doing what I can as a teacher to make that time pass a little more easily by doing these science videos. I hope everyone's enjoying them. I hope everybody has a good rest of their day, rest of their weekend. I'm looking forward to it being in the 50s this weekend. By that I mean it's only supposed to hit 50, but that counts as the 50s and I'm excited for it. So I hope you're going to have a great weekend, and I hope to see you again on Monday. Thank you.